Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So I allowed everything to dry and I am really quite taken by this, and as you can tell it didn't take me a whole lot of time to do this. It's not super involved, and I just want to reiterate you guys that when you're doing mail art, the number one concern and the number one focus should be on the fact that it is mail. So all the rules that apply when you're doing art, say on another substrate, whether it's your canvas, your art journal, whatever, they don't necessarily apply to mail art because you have to keep in mind that this is a piece of mail that is going to go through the postal system. So you have to keep things like safety, procedure, laws, all of those things have to take precedence over whatever you might want to do on your page. So, you know, you don't want there to be like too much stuff that could come loose or that's going to sit on top of the page, or any of those things, because you know they can get caught on machinery, they can get held up or returned back to you because it's not safe to be sent in the mail. There's all these different things that come into play, so I just want to be on the safe side. I don't want to obscure my labels. I want to leave enough room so that they can, you know, put whatever postage that they need to put on, etc., etc. So anyways, that being said, I am just going to kind of you know, just make this a little bit more artistic, and pens and Posca markers, etc. are great to use in nail art because, you know, it's just kind of like it's not gonna run, and it's just very user friendly for nail art. I love it. And I'm just gonna put, I'm gonna do the same over here. And even when it comes to the facial features and stuff, you guys, I don't like spend a lot of time kind of fussing, and you know, it's mail art. Like, it's supposed to be whimsical, and it's supposed to be kind of like you know, it's more I'm going for a feeling. Like when somebody receives it, they're like, oh my goodness, like it just made my day, like look at this. And you know, it's like I'm going for a feeling. So I'm not like super concerned about things like I normally would be. But you know, everybody's different, I guess. That's just me. Okay, and I think so I added this collage, you guys, initially just because I had stuff written on the envelope. So it wasn't like I added the collage for some kind of a, you know, like, how can I put this? I wasn't doing it like for composition, or I wasn't doing it for an artistic purpose. I was just doing it because there was stuff written on the envelope because I had used it to store some things. And so like I had just written on the envelope. So I was just kind of trying to cover it up. So that's all that is. And, you know, like I mentioned in my last video, if this was like in an art journal, I might want to put hair like on this side, but I don't want to like cover or, you know, distract the label, make it confusing or whatever. So I'm not going to do that. But I love doing mail art, you guys. There's something so magical about it. I don't know what it is. It's just, I love it. And I think honestly for me, it's just the fact of like the person receiving it. That's the most important thing. It's just like, wow, you know, I wish I could be there to see the expression on their face, or right. And so what I'm gonna do is, and sometimes things like can work out to our advantage. Like in the beginning I was like kind of like, oh, I wish that collage wasn't over there, you know, I wish I hadn't have written on the envelope, blah blah blah. But now I'm like, oh, okay, I can use this to my advantage. And you know, I'm just turning it into like a kind of a crown. that is like a whimsical, like a storybook kind of a crown, I guess. Now, I think I did smudge a little bit of this Posca marker here, unfortunately. That's okay. And, you know, she's just going to have some whimsical blue hair going on here. I don't know. It's just the way it goes. But I kind of like it. Oh, I'm really loving this kind of storybook hair. Now, if this was in my art journal, you guys, I might want to put like some words in here. Like, you know, I might want to go in here and kind of, you know, put like different words or whatever. But I'm not going to do that because it is mail art. So I just try to keep it kind of like, I don't want it to be like too confusing. You know, I want the labels to stand out. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I've seen mail art where they do put words on the envelope. I don't do it personally because I just kind of keep in mind that, hey, that might be confusing or it might be against regulations. Like, I really don't know. But I don't want to take the chance because I don't want to, like, go to the post office and then they say, oh, well, you know, we can't mail your package because, you know, whatever. So, yeah, so I just kind of leave it alone. Okay, so I am going to leave that there, and then I am going to do some facial features, but it's going to be like, you know, it's not going to be anything out of the, like, it's not going to be like too involved is what I mean. I'm sorry. I'm so focused on what I'm doing here. It's not going to be like too involved. It's just going to be, you know, maybe she's going to have her eyes closed like so. And so I think I need to kind of, let me just put a little bit of this ink here. So I hope the thing I'm able to convey with doing this video, you guys, if you are interested in doing nail art, is number one, just keep in mind that it is mail. That has to be the focus. It has to be safe for, you know, the postal service. It has to get to where it's going. And so that has to be at the forefront for safety issues, for laws, etc. And then the second thing is, I hope it's just like a fun thing. It's not like super serious. It's not super involved. It's not, none of that. And honestly, you guys, like, just say you're sending this, it depends on where you're sending it. You know, if you're sending it to a person, they might keep it. But if you're sending it to like a magazine or something, it is going to get thrown out. Yeah, it is. I don't think they keep it, like, because they get tons of mail art. So yeah, eventually it will get thrown out. So just kind of keep that in mind. You know, I don't use super expensive stuff. It's not super involved, etc. But I really am loving like the kind of, I don't know, just the vibe. I'm kind of liking her. She's looking kind of quirky and like from a like a fairy tale or something, a storybook. Okay. see here. I just want to add a little bit to her hair here, just some dimension. And then we're done. I would just put, you know, from, and then I would put the address on here, and then that would be it. So as you can see, you guys, it's not super involved. It doesn't take a long time at all. And you know, but like, look at it. Like, I would love to receive something like this, right? I mean, and I'm just gonna kind of put some dots here because that bled into the brown paper. So I'm just gonna use that line. So as you can see, you guys, like, this is not, you know, it's not anything over the top. It didn't take me all that long to do, but it's just a beautiful piece of mail art. Now you can just, you know, put your label on there, like do not bend, whatever. You can, there's enough room for the postage, you know, etc., etc. And you just put your to and from. So anyways, you guys, if you watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.